cannot be happening. I was just fine. What is going on? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since I've been on here. Your girl was consistent for a good run, and then everything changed because I was pregnant, and a lot has happened since then. If you're new here, welcome. I invite you to stay a while, but let's just get into this topic. Honestly, I didn't think this could happen to me, and I think living in that naive state of not thinking that something could happen to you is the very time that something does in fact happen to you. So here we go. We're going to go over the details of what happened, my birth story, my advice to you guys as women, Black women in maternity or anything. This is so important to advocate for yourself, because if I didn't know my body, I just wonder how worse it could have been for me and my child who is no longer here. So we're backdating to June 5th. I have to have my phone because I need to see the calendar so I know that I'm giving y'all detail for detail, okay? We're backdating to June 5th. That is the day of my hair appointment. That's me getting this in. Thanks, Kamaya. This was maybe like a 7-8 hour hairstyle. And I started having cramps, and I was like, I don't really feel well. And I just thought like I had to go to the bathroom, something like that. Went to the bathroom, the cramps were still there. And then I started to feel this feeling of pain shooting up my butthole straight to my back. And I remember one of my coworkers from Kentucky saying that later on, keyword later on in your pregnancy, you're going to feel something called lightning crotch. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm feeling this and I'm 5 months pregnant, but I'm like, surely that's not what this is. Maybe it's just me. I have sat too long in this hairstyle, so maybe that's what it is. We roll over to June 7th on that Friday. I'm still cramping, so I told my mother-in-law, I'm like, I'm cramping like really bad. Like, y'all, when I tell you these cramps reminded me of the cramps you get before you start your period, and then you find out you're on your period and then the cramps intensifies. It was that initial cramping. She was like, call your midwife, let them know, see what they can do. Call my midwife. She said, go get magnesium, put on get a pregnancy belt. And she said, drink electrolytes. You need to hydrate, drink water. Maybe you're low on hydration. I did all of that. I got liquid IV. I picked up some magnesium glycinate. I'll put a picture here so y'all can see. And I had purchased a pregnancy band from Amazon. Also, keep in mind that this entire pregnancy, I've always felt like this baby was sitting low and that it was hurting. And I've also been sick the entire time. From the time I found out I was pregnant all the way until I gave birth, I've been sick. Nausea, throwing up, losing massive weight, hence as to why I'm so skinny now. But this pregnancy has thrown me for a loop. So I'm just thinking, another curveball, something we can handle. I've been able to manage everything else. What's another problem? I called the midwife. She gave me all those tips to do. I'm fine. I wake up on Saturday and I'm like, okay, like everything's fine. I'm moving through. We're calm, cool, collected. Mind you, my husband is away on a work trip right now during all this time. So I was trying to make sure that I'm managing so he's not worried about me while I'm at home. And on top of that, we were supposed to head out on Tuesday the 11th to California to go watch my sister-in-law graduate. So on Sunday morning, Sunday the 9th, at 9:30 a.m. I called my mama and I'm just like, Mama, like something just doesn't feel right. I'm cramping. She was like, you know, go to the doctor, go to the ER room. And one thing about me, being that I work in a hospital, or that I work in a hospital, I don't like to go to the hospitals. So I was just like, no, girl, like, let me just call the midwife and see what they got to say. Now, this is like my second or third time calling the midwife. She's like, maybe you should really go in because I'd rather you have a peace of mind than to be worried. I told my mama, I said, okay, I'm gonna go in whenever Delonte gets home. Sunday, he's supposed to be getting home from his trip. So after I got off the phone with my mom, I went to the bathroom and I started to notice a discharge, very lubricated. And just a little bit backstory on the lubrication. Prior to pregnancy, your girl has a high sex drive. That's just how I was born. I don't know why. I have a high sex drive, and so I'm very lubricated. I don't need assistance. And my husband's very grateful for that. But during pregnancy, your girl was dry as a Sahara desert. So there was no lubrication, very minimal sex, because I just was like, I can't do nothing on no dry coochie. We just ain't finna do that. And then all of a sudden I'm lubricated and like it feels like I peed my pants. I'm just like, this don't feel right. It was clear. Call the midwife again. I'm telling you, I'm blowing these people up. Okay. She was like, oh, that's normal. Like if it doesn't feel like tap water, and it didn't. Like it had a sticky consistency. Like when you do this and you see that like sticky pattern or whatever, or that it's pulling, Everything's fine. That's normal. I decided to put a pad on just to make sure that it was clear and it was normal and nothing was going to change. A few hours passes from 9:30 a.m. till about, I want to say maybe roughly like 11:30. And now my discharge is yellow. And I said, oh no. I call my midwife back again. I'm telling you, this was a hotline, okay? And she was like, it can range from clear to yellow. That's completely normal. At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm going crazy, like I'm being a hypochondriac. But something in me kept saying, this is not normal. You need to ask more questions. You need to go somewhere and figure out what is going on. So I texted my husband. I said, when you get home, I think we need to go to the doctor. I said, we either need to go to the doctor today, Sunday, or tomorrow. And he was like, what's going on? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like something is not right. So we go to the hospital on Sunday when he gets home, and we went to the one just down the street. I'm sorry, I just will never go back there again. You also need to know the hospitals that you go to, because we go to the hospital. The lady checks me. She says, you're 3 centimeters dilated, and there's nothing we can do for you. You're just going to have to pass this baby in the toilet. Who going to jail? Not me. So my husband said, get up. Let's go. We're going to another hospital. And we went to one of the #1 hospitals in our town. So it was about a 20-minute drive. We got up there and we saw a doctor, and thank God that the OBGYN that I had seen, he was a black male. So I just felt like a little peace, because our skin tones is matching. That's what I like to see. I'm sorry, but that's just reality for us black women in healthcare. Unfortunately, it's that way. He proceeds to check me digitally. And let me just preface it by saying this. When the woman checked me at the first hospital that we went to, she checked me with a speculum. I think that's how you say it. I will show you. If you've gotten pap smears, you've seen it. It's that little duck looking thing. Yes, it hurt. I hate that crap. So when he checked me digitally. Digitally means he checked me with his finger to make sure, in fact, the cervix was or was not open. When he checked me, he said, your cervix is not open. I don't know why they told you that, but you're fine. You can go home. They hooked me up to a monitor, because when you go in to OB triage and you complain about cramps, they must hook you up to a monitor to monitor if those are actually cramps or if they are contractions. The first hospital did not do that. This hospital did. So I was like, okay, I am in good hands. She was like, no, these are not contractions. And again, I was not experiencing a pattern. It came and it went. So there was no pattern to it. It just was every so often. And I was like, that doesn't feel comfortable, right? He sent me home. We go home. I was like, whew, thank God, because I was crying at that first hospital thinking, oh my gosh, I'm dilated. Like, what the heck? What does this mean? My baby is only 21 weeks at that time. Like, it didn't even hit the 22-week mark. I'm panicking, but I'm also trying to stay calm because there's nothing that I could do at this point. When he gave me that news, I was just relieved, and I said, I can't believe they tried to scare me like that. I got up on the couch. I rested. Again, we're supposed to go to California. So I prayed, and I said, God, if we're supposed to go, let us go. If we're not, please hold us back and not have us go. I don't know why. I be praying in the spirit sometimes, because the spirit is going to let you know, okay? I wake up on Monday now. It is now Monday the 10th. Again, it's 9:30. I wake up, and my father-in-law and I are actually going to go to the rental property that we have, and we're checking on the rental property, making sure things are okay. I was in the car. He went in to go check. I was just going on for a ride. I'm in the car. The cramps have now started. It's about, I want to say it's like 10:45 a.m. now. The cramps have started. Certainly this is normal. I didn't take my magnesium dose this morning. That's gotta be it, right? I hadn't eaten yet. That's gotta be it. So we go grab food. It's 11 a.m. now, and now the cramps are intensifying. And when I say intensifying, they are now patterned. So I get home, I get into a bathtub. My husband actually ran the bathtub for me. I got into hot water, and I said, if the cramps did not subside with this hot water, something's up. It didn't stop. I was in the hot water. It didn't stop. I said, babe, I think we need to go to the hospital for real. I told him, get my phone, and start the timer. I need to know how long these cramps are lasting and the intervals in between, how often they're coming. So the cramps were lasting from 45 seconds each. It would be cramp, 3 minutes of a wait, cramp, 3 minutes of a wait. Again, I'm calling these cramps because I have no idea what a contraction is. This is my first pregnancy. I know nothing. I get out of the shower. He dries me off. He puts clothes on me. We're trying to get to the car. and I fell. I didn't fall on my stomach. I just fell on my knees because I couldn't walk anymore. And then we both knew, like, okay, something is really up. At this point, I'm feeling a lot of pressure down in my vagina area. And I'm feeling a lot of like contractions at this point. I'm like, okay, these are actually contractions because now I'm feeling pressure in my vagina and I wasn't feeling that before. So we rushed to the hospital. I went straight to the OB triage. I was like, y'all, we were just here yesterday. Something is not right. It's intense. We got in that bed. My nurse practitioner, again, she was black. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. She comes in and she texts me, not digitally and not with a speculum. Baby, she spread these legs open up the lips, and she was able to see that my sac was now inside my vagina. And when she looked at me, I said, just give it to me raw. At this point, there's nothing that I can do. Don't even start the tears. Just go ahead. And she was like, I see your sac. We're going to have to admit you. At that point, I started crying because I already knew, like, my baby's too young. So in the midst of crying, I'm like, God, you have to be with me. Because why would you give me something that I thought I wasn't ready for and then just take it away? So we get admitted and they're like, we're going to put you on MAG, which is magnesium. They started an IV line and the contractions were just going and going and going. And it was painful. When I had got there, when the doctor finally came in and checked with the ultrasound, he said, yeah, you're about 9 centimeters dilated. So from the Sunday at 5:37 p.m. from being you're not dilated at all to now we're at Monday at 1:54 p.m. I'm dilated 9 centimeters. After I get admitted, they're like, we're gonna just lay you down because we're trying to figure out if gravity can put the bag up because the bag hadn't broke. The bag is just hanging out. So the bed is normally like this in a hospital. They actually had me like this where my head was down and my legs were this way so that, you know, hopefully the bag could go back in and maybe there's something that we can do. But at this point, the fact that I'm 9 centimeters dilated, they're like, you might give birth to this baby. It's Monday and it's my husband's birthday, June 10th. And I'm just like, dang, this is tough. Like on your birthday, I got him some cupcakes. So his dad actually brought the cupcakes up to the hospital so that we could enjoy the cupcakes. And one thing about my husband and I, despite anything, we're going to have us a good time. So we're sad, of course, but it's just like we prayed, God, your will, not ours. And in saying that prayer, you literally have to mean what you say because he's going to test you like, all right, you said my will, not yours. Let me see if you really mean that. Finally, my water broke. And now the problem is the risk of infection. And I was like, dang. My water broke because I ate a cupcake. In the first bite of eating the cupcake, I threw up. Told you I was sick the whole time, so I threw up. I'm talking about projectile bleh. Oh, even just think about it, it's disgusting. I threw up and the pressure of my abdomen squeezing caused my water to break. And now they're like, okay, we're gonna have to put you on antibiotics because the risk of infection is now going to increase. So I got to speak to the NICU. And he was basically like, you know, this baby may or may not be at the 22 weeks mark. And there was probably nothing that they could do. We had to go speak to a fetal maternal medicine doctor, specialist, again, however you call them. And she checked with an ultrasound. Baby was fine. Baby's heartbeat was at 154. Her ligaments looked good. Her brain scan looked good. Like everything looked good with baby. Just a sac broke. Unfortunately, baby was breached. So Aléiya is now breached at this point. Her butt was actually hanging down and they were like, okay, hopefully she'll shift so that her feet come out. Breached baby. The sac broke. We're only 5 months. What is going on? We get back to my room that I'm admitted in and we're just waiting around. Delonte's dad is now with us. We're just hanging, having a good time. We spoke to family on the phone. His dad had to leave. I want to say his dad left at 3:30 in the morning because his dad's now traveling to California for his daughter's graduation. I told Delonte, I looked at him and I said, babe, I don't think this baby's going to come until it's just me and you in the room. And he was like, for real? I said, yeah, I don't know why I feel that way. Tuesday now rolls around June 11th, around 2:36 p.m. My daughter's now born. I told that doctor, I feel like something's trying to come up out of me. I feel like this baby's trying to come. And he said, let me check. I said, not with your fingers, but you could just look. So he looked. He said, I don't see anything. I said, doctor, I'm telling you right now, this baby's trying to come. As soon as the doctor decided to leave out of the room, that baby came. Nobody was in the room. I'm talking about the doctor left, the nurse left. Everybody was out of the room. It was just my husband and I. Aléiya came and sat on the bed. And I was just like, I told them. So now her head is stuck and the doctor came rushing back in. Her head is stuck and they're trying to get her out, but there's no heartbeat. The doctor finally came in and took her head out. She was not breathing. Her heart was not beating. The cord had no blood. She died on the way out. And it was tough. I didn't think I could feel a hurt like that, you know, because again, like I'm feeling this girl kick up until even the last day that she was inside of me. Like she was kicking, she was fine, you know. So this was really tough for my husband and I, but we also did say that God's will and not our own. And we also did come to the terms of when we're blessed with something, it's not ours to have some type of control over it. We're blessed with it because God has blessed us with it. It's His, and we're allowed the opportunity to take care of it. So everybody's asking, are we okay? And how's everything? How's things? And our answer to that, he's not here. He's actually at work right now. But I'm here to let you guys know we're okay. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. But overall, we're okay. When the time is right, we'll have a baby again. We're in no rush to have a child. I'm not trying to replace the one that I do not have right now. I also have to come to terms with that. But I still have realized that God has blessed me to be a wife. Like I have a husband and I'm still in my wife season. We haven't even been married for a year yet. So I'm being grateful for the things that I have instead of mourning and focusing on the things that I do not have. So to conclude this video, a few things I just want you guys to know. Women, if you know your body, say something, open up your mouth, because that's literally your life that's at danger. So advocate for yourself, open up your mouth. If something doesn't feel right, say something, do not wait. I'm especially speaking to my Black women. When it comes to pregnancy, speak up, because if you don't, no one else will. Unfortunately, that's just the reality that we live in. My second thing is trust God. If nothing else, trust God, because if God can give you good, I'm knowing He can give you greater. And on top of that, anything that He removes from your life, I'm a firm believer that whatever He takes away, He's going to bless you tenfold. If you don't believe me, look at the story of Job. I have no reason to complain. So I just want to encourage you guys that we're okay. God is still good despite our circumstances. And when we are supposed to have a kid, we will. We're not going to be trying, or we ain't doing all that. We're going to enjoy ourselves still. And if it happens, it happens. So I'll just cue in all of our clips from this entire pregnancy here. He had picked up that pictures since I laid it on his lap. Welcome to the camp. Baby daddy's done with his first prenatal visit. Why is I'm the one who's actually sick. Look, he holding his baby. So I don't know how people are making videos, but the toilet has been my best friend. I look like I don't care about myself, because I genuinely don't at this point. Came out of the hospital last night, so I got the Rolex on my wrist. This baby has literally held me at gunpoint, but I'm trying. First trimester is not easy at all. I thought this was gonna be a breeze, but I'm about to throw up. So let me get off this video. All right, so I feel like my bump is finally in effect. It's been a long time for it to get here, but it's here. Successful day?
We'll see. I gotta look at the end results, but I hope so.
Yeah, me too, because we ain't coming back out here and doing it again.
Yeah, we will. If I
They hit at all.
did on my arm.
My baby on the foot. Delante, give me my child. My little mom vehicle. Alright. Here you go.
Will be done, yeah. It's not your will be done, but His will be done. That's the only way it works. Not your will be done, but His will be done. Will you say yes? Will you say, oh, He loves you, oh, He loves you, oh, He's deeply in love with you, oh, He's deep.
So I love you, but God loves you more. And I'll see you next time on my next video on this channel. Hopefully that comes sometime soon. Peace. Bye.